Good morning, I'm Tom from Fate Farms, PA, and today is a brisk fall day. It's about 40 degrees and we're gonna do some field maintenance here, preparing for the winter. You can see that I started cutting the field. We're gonna try to get it cut down. So hopefully next year we're gonna be able to pull some hay off it. We had to replant a lot of it, several acres, and it needs about a year or two to get root before you could start cutting hay off it. But one of the things I wanted to do today, as I started cutting down over this hill, I thought to myself, I should do a video on tractor safety. I'm not a professional, so everything I'm telling you is just my personal opinion. So I advise you to do your own research, but you hear so many horror stories of people buying tractors, or now you can go rent tractors at Home Depot, and they go and do these projects at their house, and 9 times out of 10 it goes smooth, you save money, and it's great. But some guys or women get on these tractors that are not educated and don't take it serious, and it's a very, very dangerous piece of equipment. So this is a Hillside that I won't let Keisha cut. She's great cutting the fields. She loves it. She gets in there, puts the music on, and you'll see some of our videos where she'll just, like a coyote, will run in front of her. She loves it. But when you have a Hillside like this, I have a lot more of experience, and I don't panic when things go wrong. When you're on a steep hillside, there's several things you have to take into play. Is 1, moisture content in the ground. 2, percentage of the grade. I just did a percentage measurement on this. This is about 22%. So if you're ever driving down the road and you see like a sign that says steep incline, 12% grade, times that by almost 2. This is how steep this hill is. I would never suggest doing any hill maintenance on a tractor that is, 1, not 4-wheel drive, and 2, properly ballast. When I say properly ballast, is like having a bucket in a front to counterweight the brush hog. You always go up and down the hill, straight up, straight down, always be in 4-wheel drive. And you got to know your limits. You got to understand your machine. Things happen very quickly when it comes to machines. It must be in 4-wheel drive. People don't realize that tractors do not have front brakes like a vehicle. So if you go down over a hill in a 2-wheel drive tractor and you start sliding, it tends to slide sideways and flip. There's tons of YouTube videos on tractor accidents. It's pretty bad. So it's just something that I feel like if this reaches one person to save someone from injury or death, then this video is, very, very fulfilling for me. My biggest thing going down over the hill is slow. I don't go fast in a machine. They say speed kills for a reason. So slow and steady wins the race for me. Always have your seatbelt on. So I'm gonna do a couple demonstrations up and down the hill. And like I said, this is just advice. I suggest you take your time and do your own research, but it's something that people need to consider, because you can go rent machines like crazy now. And I think to myself, no offense to people that work in an office setting or going out and renting a 6,000 or 7,000 pound machine, and you think you're saving money, but you could end up hurting or killing yourself or someone else. So it's something to consider. I always suggest for people to save money. So I'm all for people renting equipment. It's just respect it. It's very, very dangerous. It's also very rewarding too, whenever you accomplish something where I could have paid this guy $5,000, but I just rented a machine for $2,000 and I did the same task. So it's a very rewarding thing also. It's just something that you have to respect. So stick around. I'm gonna do a couple different maneuvers down over the hill. I know it doesn't really do it justice. The video never does, but this is a pretty steep hill. And right now it's about 40 degrees. The ground's not froze. It's not muddy. And I have a 4-wheel drive tractor. So you'll see here shortly. Stick around. So there's a few demonstrations going up and down the hill, never side to side. It's just a bad decision. You know, if you hit a groundhog hole, could be just enough to send you rolling down over the hill. But if you paid attention, I mean, I've been running equipment, I mean, I'm not even joking, over 30 years on different things. They have pictures of me 10 years old on equipment. So, you know, there's this disconnect of people getting comfortable versus safe. I just always try to be very, very respectful and safe on equipment, but I went down the hill in second gear, and then I thought to myself, I can probably get up that hill in third. Well, if you listen to the audio, it started bearing down the motor, and not to the point where I panicked, but this is where people get in trouble. If I would have went halfway up that hill and then that machine would have stalled out, that's where panic mode comes in for people that don't know what the machine's gonna do. It could stall out and go flying backwards. I obviously would have put the bucket down, put the emergency brake on, and try to hang on to the hill till I could restart, put in a lower gear, and then either one back down slow or pull out forward. But this is an example of experience and no experience. What made me have the disconnect is I've cut this hill several times, but I just, here lately, I thought to myself, I should put a counterbalance in the front just in case, because a couple times it felt light going up there. And the weight of that dirt in the bucket was more restriction on the motor. So if you notice that last time I went up the hill in second gear, yes, it's slower. It may add another half hour to your cutting time, but what is a half hour versus flipping a tractor over and getting seriously hurt or injured? So that this goes to show you that even people with experience get into situations. It's just how you handle it. So I'm going to set up the camera a couple different angles. Hopefully you can see the steepness of this grade, and then I'll do one with a ride along inside the cab to, you know, get the full experience of what it feels like going down over a hill in a machine. So stick around. So now you're at the bottom of the hill. It's a shame that the camera's not doing it justice, but you're going to see me climb up this hill to get in a tractor, so you're going to see how much of a struggle it is. I mean, it's not crazy steep. Obviously, I'm cutting it with a machine, but this is definitely something as far as an amateur operator that you would want to be comfortable on a piece of equipment before you tackle something like this. there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed a few demonstrations there on how to stay safe. Like I said, do your own research. I'm not a professional. This is all just advice. If anyone has any other suggestions, feel free to leave it in a comment. I mean, like I said, if this gets and reaches one person to save someone from injury or death, then it's a fulfillment video for me. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, we appreciate you if you subscribe, hit the like button. Helps feed the algorithm to have this channel grow so we can start reaching more people. If you're a continued supporter, we appreciate you coming back. Like always, stay safe and see you on the next one.